Cool. Good morning. This is going to be effective names and uses. This is 9:01 a.m., September 29th, 2020. So effective names and uses. This is actually a quite simple yet very important topic because if you could do this section the right way, if you could nail the section that I'm going to be talking about today, you will sell something on every single presentation that you do. I believe that to be the truth. I believe that if you nail this part of your presentation, you will sell something, because this part of your presentation is where you are creating the want and the need for Cutco, okay? This is where you're creating the want and the need for Cutco, and this is going to be the names and uses section. So I'm going to share my screen here, and on your training manual, this part of the presentation is going to be right after the video plays, where we start the names and uses. So it's this transition from after the video into the names and uses. That's what we're going to be going over today. And like I said, I believe that if you can nail this, you will sell something on every single appointment. Not only will you say sell something, if you could do this effectively, you will sell a set on every single appointment. And you nail it 100%, you'll sell a homemaker set on every appointment. At least, I won't say we'll sell a homemaker on every appointment. At least you won't get the objection of it's too many tools in the set. You know, if you ever have a customer say, oh, I wouldn't use all those pieces, or I won't use all those tools, this is where you handle that concern. So during the names and uses section, you're handling the concern of would I use it? The other concern you're handling here is, do I want this? Like, do I have enough pain with my current stuff, or do I have enough pleasure to upgrade to something new? Is there enough pain with my current stuff, and is there enough pleasure to upgrade to something new? That's what we're bringing to the surface here. So to start off, when we go after the video ends, right after the video ends, if you're not doing this, I highly recommend you going and reminding them of the guarantee. So right away, you go, so Ms. Jones, just to remind you of what you just saw in that video, there is the forever guarantee. And just to bring that back up for you, Ms. Jones, I just want to show you right here, forever guarantee. The part of the guarantee that I want to highlight is the 15-day unconditional money back guarantee. But you got the forever performance, forever sharpness, the misuse and abuse. But I want to highlight the unconditional money back guarantee because, Ms. Jones, this gives you 15 days from the day you get it. It's business days. So you actually have about 3 weeks to take everything for a test drive. So I know most customers like you probably didn't plan on falling in love with Cutco during this presentation. So if that happens, don't feel bad. It happens all the time, okay? But the only decision you're making today, if any decision at all, is to what you want to try out. So during this next section, I'm going to show you our most popular set. And if you're like most customers, in fact, 30,000 customers last year, if you didn't know that, you might want to write that down. 30,000 customers last year decided to try out the homemaker set. So if you're like one of those 30,000 customers last year who wanted to take the homemaker set out for a test drive, don't feel bad. It happens all the time. I'm going to show you how that program works here in a little bit. But first, I want to show you what comes in that set. Okay. And then I'm going to transition into the set. Now, Ms. Jones, you could buy individual pieces, but most customers agree over a lifetime, a set's a much better value. See, so I created what is called a pre-frame. So before I go into the names and uses, I created a pre-frame leveraging that money back guarantee, leveraging the think about it guarantee before I go into the homemaker set. So I created what is an open mind. Again, I know I created an open mind in the beginning, but I'm doing it again before I go into this next section. Then I'm going to say, cool, go ahead and click. And then I'm going to go back over here and go back down here so that way it matches. I'm going to go to the slide. So now I'm on the same slide, boom, boom. All right. And you could buy individual pieces, but customers are going to agree it's much better value because, and if you don't know the 5 reasons why sets make the most sense, right tool, discounted, free stuff, safer, 5-pay. You want to have that memorized. Right tool, discounted, free stuff, safer, 5-pay. Right tool, discounted, free stuff, safer, 5-pay. Right tool for the right job. Get a built-in discount. Right tool, discount, free stuff. You get free stuff with the set. You could do, it also comes in a block or a tray. It also comes with a cutting board, so it's safer. And you could do a 5-pay option, so you don't have to pay for it all at once. Those are the 5 reasons why sets make the most sense. So a lot of the setup is done before you even show them the tools that come in the set. Now, when you do show the tools in the set, there's a formula. I'm going to do it live for you. Okay. I'm going to do it live for you just so you can see what the formula is. And then I'm going to call on one of you to see if you can extract the formula. I'll do 3 tools. I'll do the paring knife, trimmer, and spatula spreader. I want you to see if you can extract the formula of what I'm doing. So let me, Alani, I'll have you be my Miss Jones. Okay. So Miss Jones, so obviously sets make the most sense because you get the right tool, discount, and free stuff, save for 5-pay, as we just discussed. The first tool that comes in your set is called the paring knife. So let me go ahead and show you what the paring knife looks like, Miss Jones. Miss Alani, do you ever do fruits, like small fruits in the air once in a while?
All the time.
So you do that. So like a mango, apple, strawberry, something like that. You do that once in a while?
Mm-hmm.
So do you see why that tool would come in your set then for small fruits?
Yes.
Now that's a great tool for small fruits in the air, but it's not very good on the cutting board. And that's why you have the trimmer. Now your trimmer, Miss Alani, is great for small fruits and veggies on a cutting board, like a tomato or a lemon or a lime or orange. Miss Alani, do you ever do small fruits on a cutting board? Like you ever slice a tomato ever once in a while?
Yes.
You do? Okay, perfect. So this is going to be your tomato knife. It's going to be great for like anything that's a little small that you would cut on a cutting board, cucumbers, lemons, limes, oranges, slicing raw chicken, but it's amazing for tomatoes. Now it's really thin, like the blade is really thin, so it's not great for spreading. So that's why you have your spatula spreader. Miss Alani, do you ever do sandwiches or cakes or pies every once in a while, lasagna, something like that?
Yeah, bagels all the time.
You do bagels. Okay, so this is going to be your bagel tool. So this is going to be your bagel tool. It is perfect for spreading, slicing, and serving. It's a perfect bagel tool. It's perfect for sandwiches. It's great for casseroles, cakes, and pies. But you're not, if it's really flexible, so it's really not going to be good for like a rotisserie chicken or a pineapple. And that's why you have your petite carver. Miss Alani, do you ever do do you ever cut a pineapple once in a while? Ever? Say no.
No.
No? Hey, no big deal. Some people like to buy it already pre-cut. It's so much fresher when it's already when you cut it up yourself. But do you ever do cantaloupe once in a while? Say no.
No.
Do you ever do? Have you ever bought one of those pre-cooked rotisserie chickens from like Costco or Publix before? They're already cooked, but you just bring them home and you just cut it up for your family. You ever do that once in a while? Say yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So this is going to be your rotisserie chicken knife. That's what this is for. Okay. So this is going to be for every time you go to Costco or Publix and you want something quick and easy and you want to have a tool to carve up that rotisserie chicken. This is going to be your rotisserie chicken carving set. And if you ever happen to get like a pineapple or a cantaloupe ever, you could use it for that too. But for you specifically, you're going to use this for your rotisserie chickens. Do you see why that comes in your set, Miss Alani?
Yes.
Cool. Now, this is great for the rotisserie chicken, but it's not really good for like heavy duty jobs. Do you ever try to cut a watermelon during the barbecue ever once in a while?
Yes.
Yeah. So the next tool I'm going to show you, this is going to be your watermelon knife. This is going to be your watermelon tool. Ready? So Alani, what is the formula? What am I doing?
You're asking questions every single time.
I'm asking questions, but I agree. Yes. What are the questions I'm asking? Well, what is the formula? Or were you able to pick out the formula? It's the same every single time.
I think I
Anybody
know
can
it.
shout it out. Go ahead.
I think it's that you're finding their specific use for it. So each time you're asking them, you see how you'd get a use out of this. You see how you'd like use this every day. And then you would ask them specifically, like if they don't cut it for pineapples, you ask them about the rotisserie chicken, or you keep going till you find something that they will use it for.
So ask questions until I get a yes. Okay. If I'm hearing you right, Nick. Liz, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that you give a quick description and then you ask until you get a yes. Yeah.
So quick description, ask and make sure I get a yes on that tool. It's like, you do that? Perfect. This is the tool you're going to use for that. See, what happens is new representatives oftentimes give 17 uses for one knife, and they're like, I don't do 17 things, so I don't need that tool. I'll say that one more time. Miss Jones, you could use this petite carver for pineapples, cantaloupes, rotisserie chickens. You could use it for squash. You could use this for grapefruit. You could use this for an eggplant. You could use this for all sorts of things. Your customer's thinking, well, I don't do all of those. I only cut rotisserie chickens. Therefore, I don't need that knife. Versus, Miss Jones, do you ever do pineapple? No. Do you ever do cantaloupe once in a while? Do you guys see that phrase right there? Do you ever do that once in a while, maybe? Do you ever do that once in a while, maybe? I want to make it easy for them to say yes. I want to phrase it so it's easy for them to say yes. Do you ever do that once in a while, maybe? Yeah, once in a while. You do. So when you do that once in a while, this is going to be the tool to do that. And then I'll get like maybe one or two more yeses. Do you ever do that once in a while? You do. Oh, you do that one all the time? So all the time when you do that, this is going to be a tool for that. And here's the follow-up question. Any of you catch the follow-up question? Once they get the yes, once they get the first yes, what's the follow-up question? Did you catch it? What do I say? Do you see why what?
Do you see why we get a use out of this?
What is it?
Oh, do you see why this knife is in the set?
Do you see why that comes in your set? You got it. Do you see why that comes in your set? So I'm reaffirming make sure that they understand why it comes in their set as well. And if you also notice, I'm calling them tools. I call them tools, not knives, as much as possible, because people associate tools with a toolbox, and a toolbox has multiple tools in it. People hear knife, they think singular, which is one knife, versus tools. So these are a couple of small little things that could end up creating just creating the mindset that you want your customer to have. So your customers are not trained on how not to buy. You're training them on how to buy. I'll say that one more time. You are literally training your customer how to buy. You're getting the framework. You're skidding it. What does it say? You're greasing the skidding the grease, or there's a saying. Greasing the
engine.
I've never heard that one.
You're greasing something. You're making it easy. You're making it easy for them to say yes. So we'll have to look up what that euphemism is. So as far as this goes, so that's what we're doing. You're getting. So I'll go through the formula one more time just so you can catch it. So we'll do the chef knife. So Ms. Jones, do you ever do vegetables, like fresh vegetables, once in a while? Yeah. So do you ever chop an onion or make a salad once in a while?
Yeah.
Yep. This is going to be your prep tool for your salads and your onions when you do that. Let me show you that video. Boom. Do you see why this comes in your set, Ms. Jones? Do you see how you would use it when you chop up for your vegetables? Yeah. But it's not good for, so what did I just do? Whenever you transition and you say, but it's not good for this, what am I creating a need for? I'm creating a need for what?
For our next knife.
The next tool that comes in the set. Yeah. I'm creating a need for the next tool. So if you can get the small yeses on each tool, but then also get them understanding that it's not good for something, that's why you have the next tool. You're creating a problem and a solution throughout each section of this part of your presentation. So when you get to this question right here, the most important question, Ms. Jones, can you see how over a lifetime, 30, 40, 50 years, you're going to use every tool in your basic set? Yes. I want to get as many yeses as possible. So can you see why 30,000 families like yours decided to upgrade to this set? Yeah. Isn't it cool, Ms. Jones, that you can try out this set for that 15-day trial period I told you about, just to make sure you love it? Yeah. Doesn't that make it easy to make a buying decision today? Yep. I want to get like 7. If I could get 5 or 6 yeses right here, I'm just anchoring it in as many yeses as I possibly can. And I'm not saying they're going to say yes and buy the set, But I'm telling you, that is a very high probability that they're not going to say, oh, I wouldn't use all the tools. Now, if they want to say money, totally cool. That's a different workshop. But I'm not teaching you that right now. I'm saying if you can create the want high enough and you create the need high enough, they're going to buy something because money is going to be irrelevant. So if you can nail this part of your presentation, you will make a sale on every appointment. And if you can nail this part of the presentation, you'll sell a set on every time. And you really nail it, you're going to help customers buy homemaker sets left and right. Let me give you a couple more tools, a couple more insights that you could do. So on this section here, right here, I always love to use an analogy. So once I say, Ms. Jones, right here, has the minimum number of tools to do 100% of the jobs in the kitchen as efficiently as possible. Right here, I would insert an analogy. And you could use multiple different analogies. You could use shoes. You could use tools in a toolbox. You could use golf clubs. Well, those are my 3 favorites. You could even use paintbrushes. You know, it depends. I'll give you all of them, but choose one that you think that customer can relate to the most. Most of your target audience are moms, so they're going to be able to relate to shoes the most. Okay? But I'll give you all analogies and you could choose whichever one you want. Okay? So Ms. Jones, it's 100% of the jobs in your kitchen as efficiently as possible. It's just like having tools in a toolbox, right? You wouldn't hammer in a screw, because if you hammer in a screw, it doesn't work really well. You know, you need a screwdriver for that, right? You have a screwdriver, you have a wrench, you have a hammer, different tool for a different job. Same thing with knives in the kitchen. Golf clubs. Ms. Jones, it's just like golf. There's different clubs you use more often than others. Like if you get stuck in the sand trap, there's a sand wedge. If you're going to putt the ball on the green, there's a putter. If you want to hit the ball really far, there's a driver. Different clubs for different shots on the golf course. Same thing with knives in the kitchen. Paintbrushes. Ms. Jones, it's just like painting a house or painting the room. You have the roller brush, and then you have like a little intricate brush to get into the edges. Then you have different textures of different brushes. So there's different paintbrushes that you need to get the job done. Same thing with knives in the kitchen. And shoes is my always go-to. You just pick one. Don't use all 4, and it becomes excessive. And it's just like Ms. Jones. It's just like shoes in the closet. How many pairs of shoes do you have? 1 or 2? You have a few? Exactly. The reason why you have a few is because you have the right shoe for the right occasion. You got your tennis shoes, you got your high heels, low heels, mids, flats, stilettos, pumps, open toe, closed toe, straps, no straps, same shoe, different color. I know you so well, don't I, Miss Jones, right? You have the different shoe for the different occasion. Now, you don't wear every pair of shoes every single day, but you have them when you need them. Same thing with knives in the kitchen. So when you look at this set, I want you to look at over the next 30, 40, 50 years, it's a set, just like a set of shoes is a set of knives for your kitchen, and you'll have the right tool for the right job when you need it. So, and this set right here, the homemaker, is the best value for the average family, and it starts with your paring knife. So again, nailing that analogy right here before, so right in that transition right there, you nail that analogy, it's just going to allow you to get those yeses that much easier. Because then if your customer's like, I never do fruits. It's just like, Ms. Jones, think of the paring knife as like those really sexy heels that you bust out like 2 times a year. Aren't you glad you have those heels when you need them, right? Same thing. You might not use this paring knife every single day, but you have it just in case, because you're going to have this set for the next 30, 40, 50 years. And you could refer back to that analogy if you need to. So again, you're training your customer how to buy. You are coaching them on how to say yes during this part of your presentation. Okay. So just to summarize everything up, when you go through this part, first and foremost, after the video ends, introduce them to remind them of the Forever Guarantee and remind them of the 15-day trial period. Then you want to get them excited about the set with the 5 reasons, right tool, discounted, free stuff, safer, 5-pay. I like the analogy right here after the word possible before it's the best value, using the analogy. And then the formula of getting a few yeses, the general yeses, the specific yeses. Like, do you ever do fruit? Yeah. Do you ever do like a mango once in a while? Maybe. Once in a while, maybe get another yes, then play the video, show them how awesome it is, and then you could get them excited about the tool. See why that comes, and then you end. Do you see why that comes in your set? Yes. and then you sell them off of that tool to create a problem. And that way you have a solution for the next tool. That's called bridging. And when you bridge tool to tool, when you get to the end and you get to that last question, which is right here, can use over a lifetime, anchor those yeses in with a few yeses, 2 or 3 other yeses on top of this yes. So that way your customer can really see the value in owning every tool that comes in the set. So that's your advanced names and uses workshop.